immediately from the first session, I'll still remember the incredible relationship that was created with the clients. These were new clients. Some were my clients from my private practice, but many of them were from a group home, and the incredible relationship that developed within the first time that we saw them. But the way that we started calling it Now I See a Person Institute is that we had a student from the university where I taught, and the paper is actually on one of our websites. And the student came in one day into a practicum class and said, I hate my client. And I just about had a heart attack because I didn't think that this person used the word hate. And so we talked about what happens when we don't like our clients. Well, you know what, Teresa Margarita, it doesn't have anything to do with the client, does it? It has to do with the therapist. Either that the client's not doing what the therapist wants them to do, that they remind them of somebody, you know, there's, as Tom Edison would say, there's just prejudice there. So the next week they came in and we got full releases to be able to videotape this and write about it. And the next week the practicum students came in, and that particular therapist said, the client that I hated is now my most beloved client. And so when I asked why, the student said that for the first time in 10 sessions that she left the treatment plan outside the door, all the progress notes of hers and of other people that had seen this poor woman, and she went in with an open heart, and for the first time she saw a person in front of her. For the first time she could see a person. And that was the origins of us starting Now I See a Person Institute and calling what we do Now I See a Person Institute. So Now I See a Person Institute means that we see people. We don't see diagnoses, we don't see symptoms. It's not that we're blind and that we can't see them, but it's not that's what we define people as. And people learn not to just define themselves as that, but as people, and people who can recover. Would you have anything to add to that, David?
Yeah, and it's phenomenal. Once we stop seeing them as their diagnosis, they also stop seeing themselves as a diagnosis, and it's liberating for them. It makes hope happen, and possibilities that were in front of them before that they just didn't see become clear, because now they're not focusing on their diagnosis and what's wrong with them, but rather their strengths and opportunities. So it's really
so in other words, before they thought they were crazy,
right,
and what they were doing was crazy,
right,
and once they see themselves as being normal, then those same things that they were doing before, they see as what perhaps a normal person would do.
Right, just like before they would say, oh, this is because of my diagnosis, but
this is because I was triggered, this was because I'm anxious,
it's
I'm
just
depressed.
Because they're human. And we react to our environment, and their environment wasn't entirely healthy, and any human being would react the same way.
And I wonder what vets would say about horses being diagnosed with mental health disorders. Look at him. He's like, what the heck?
What is that?
Teresa, what would we call your son?
We would call him...
He's 1 year old.
Very codependent.
He's enmeshed, codependent.
And overly loving.
And
rambunctious.
Yes. Okay. Bye. So signing off today. Blessings to everybody. Thank you, David, so much.
Absolutely.
And we'll talk soon.